So, multiplying in scientific notation. We take two of these numbers, written in our notation, right? Leading number, multiplication sign, base of 10 with an integer power. So no decimal, no fraction in our integer. The first thing we want to do is multiply the leading numbers. We're going to do this with a calculator. If you have your own calculator, great. I know not all of us have access to one. You can go on your Chromebook and just type in calculator, hit the first thing, you can use that.
But that's blocked too.
They're not going to block the calculator, I promise. Multiply your leading numbers. This is also the first year that I'm letting you guys use calculators to do this. I've been having you do it by hand, but it just takes so much time. I'm tired of wasting that time doing that. As an adult, you'll always have access to a calculator on your phone, so preventing you from using them now is just not really worth it. So you're going to multiply your leading numbers using a calculator. Now with this example, we don't even need a calculator, right? Because what's 3 times 2? 6, right? But when we have something like 7.6 times 6, that's going to be a little bit harder for us to do in our heads, so we'll use a calculator for that. Step 1, multiply your leading numbers. Step 2, add your powers of 10. Basically, we're going to use the product rule. 10 to the 4th power times 10 to the 5th power. We keep that base of 10 the same, and we add the exponents together. Right? What would 4 plus 5 give us? 9. Right? Step 3. Now, step 3 is not always going to be applicable. We're not always going to need to do step 3, but sometimes we will. If, with a big if, because it's not always going to be necessary, if your new leading number is not between 1 and 10. If we multiply, let's say, like 6 and 7, and we got 42. 42 can't be our leading number because it's not between 1 and 10. So if we see that circumstance happen, we're going to move the decimal until there's only one number to the left of the decimal. It's a long step 3, but like I said, it's only needed sometimes. I'm going to move this down. Now this is the most important part. When we do that, if we move that decimal, right, just like we talked about in our notes earlier, every time we move the decimal, it changes what our power of 10 is going to be. So you're going to add the number of decimal moves to your exponent. That's really confusing, but we'll see what it looks like in a second. For example, let's take the example that we wrote up on the top. 3.0 times 10 to the 4th times 2.0 times 10 to the 5th. And you're going to see it written like this in parentheses right next to each other. That means we are multiplying, right? Step 1 is we multiply our leading numbers. Like we said, what is 3 times 2 equal to? 6. Right, that's step 1. Step 2 says we're going to add our powers of 10. So if we have 10 to the 4th times 10 to the 5th, that's the same as 10 to the 4 plus 5, which is equal to 10 to the what? 9th power. Six is our new leading number. 10 to the 9th is our new power of 10. So our final answer here would be 6.0 times 10 to the 9th. So this is almost like that lesson where we highlight it, right? We take our leading numbers, 3 and 2, and we multiply those. We take our powers of 10, 4 and 5, and we add those. And then we put them together. The new leading number, the new power of 10, just put them together. 6 times 10 to the 9th. That's it. Now, we didn't have to do step 3 there, but that's the basic way that we would do that, the simplest way, just like that. Now let's do an example where we have a step 3, and then we'll be done. I see the time. I'm trying. Let's say we have 7.5 times 10 to the first times 2.0 times 10 to the 4th. This is directly from your worksheet. So here's one of your homework answers already. Okay. Step 1. What are we going to multiply first? 7.5 and 2. 7.5 and 2. Anyone with a calculator open want to do that for me real quick? 7.5 times 2 gives us 15. Great job. 15. Okay? That's going to be my new leading number for now. But 15 is not between 1 and 10. So we'll come back to that. Second step. We take our powers of 10. 10 to the first times 10 to the 4th. I'm going to highlight. I know you guys don't have highlighters, but this is just so you can see where I'm getting these numbers from. 10 to the first times 10 to the 4th gives us 10 to the first plus 4, or 10 to the 1 plus 4, I guess I should say, which gives us 10 to the power of what? 5. 1 plus 4, 5. That's our new power of 10 again for now. When we put these together, we get 15 times 10 to the 5th. No, because 15 has 2 numbers to the left of that decimal, right? So how many spaces will we need to move this decimal till we have 1 number to the left? 1 space, right? 1 space. So we're going to take our power of 10 and we're going to add 1. Okay, every time we move the decimal, it changes our power. So the answer here, not 5. What's my new leading number? 1.5 times 10 to the 6th power. Just like that. That's how we use step 3. 10 times out of 11, you are only going to have to move this decimal 1 space. So you're only going to need to add 1 to that power. Okay?